Okay, today I'm here with Cliff Harsky, one of the best kettlebell minds in the country, and we are going over 2 kettlebell exercises. We're each going to do one for the 7 basic movement patterns using kettlebells for both beginners and intermediates. So we've gone through several of the other movement patterns already, and now we're going to cover twist. And so I'll let Cliff go first and demonstrate his version of a twist.
So we're going to use a Turkish getup, but the first part of a Turkish getup, which has like 100 steps. So the first step, which not many people conceptualize as a twist, but if you do it right, it is. So when I'm thinking twist, I'm thinking about the relationship between the hip and oftentimes the opposite shoulder. The obliques are coming into play together, and maybe even the posterior oblique sling coordinating. So when we do a Turkish getup, you're on your back. Imagine the kettlebell here. I'll do it with the kettlebell in a moment. I'm going to start this movement by pushing through the foot, and that's my hip, my glutes turning on first. Then I get a segmental or rotational twist roll where I bite the floor with my hand and forearm and pull myself up. So the one benefit is obviously the up, but we can really feel the twist component on the eccentric if you go down one vertebrae at a time and resist it. So with the weight, it looks like, and you'll get a massive amount of glute and obliques.
That's fantastic, man. So I'm going to go over just a loaded kettlebell carry or a rack kettlebell carry. The cool thing about this, there's a few things. You get a chance to practice loaded gait, which we don't do very often, of driving from the outside edge through the big toe with your toes pointed straight and then just pulling your hips over your hips over your lead foot. Also, since the kettlebell is loaded off center, we get to work kind of our obliques and our anti-lateral flexion muscles. And the third thing, having the kettlebell loaded here for an extended period of time, you're really forced to work on your diaphragmatic breathing or braced breathing. And my rack doesn't look nearly as good as yours, but basically you just want to keep it here close to your sternum in a kind of a comfortable position. Don't want it too far out to the side here or try to keep your elbow too high. You want to try to keep your wrist as neutral as possible. Abs in, pelvis neutral, and then you're going to start to walk with it without letting it turn in your body. And at the same time, and a cool thing about these two is you can even walk backwards, and you don't want to look like you're leaning with it, so you're really having to use this oblique to keep yourself nice and centered, and then you're having to learn how to breathe with a braced core and not rely on having to hold your breath every time you need to brace your core.